It's the pull list, here we go. ComixDad's got the highs and lows. From epic wins to flops that miss. He's breaking down the books on the pull list. Superheroes, villains, and lore. He's got opinion you can't ignore. From indie gems to Marvel's might. ComixDad's here to set it right. Panels pop the story, so I'll tell you what's worth fighting for. Some books shine, some books fade. ComixDad's calling. It's the pull list. Here we go. ComixDad's got the highs and lows. From epic wins to flops that miss. He's breaking down the books on the pull list. So grab your stack, don't miss a beat. ComixDad's bringing all the heat. Tune in now, the verdict's in. The pull list, where the comics begin.
What's going on, everybody? ComixDad here for a special Monday edition of the poll list. Now, I know, we moved away from Mondays to go to Sundays. You all on X that voted for Sundays, I apologize. Also, I apologize for not just missing last night's show, which fortunately I was able to do today, but also for missing the week before. 2 weeks ago, I was definitely really under the weather, not feeling well, and on top of that, going through some stuff mentally as well. Just kind of in my own head that night, and I couldn't put on the best show I could for you guys. But for last night, it was more just we were out and gone for most of the day, and probably about, what was it, maybe an hour or so before showtime, 2 hours before showtime, I had a massive throbbing headache, and I just I needed to lay down. But at least, unlike last week, this week at least I'm able to make it up today. But we're doing it a little early today because Queen Comics' wife and I are both going to be on friend of the channel, Isaac 556 by 45's channel tonight at 8 o'clock for the Golden Patriot podcast. So we're going to be over there. That's why I'm doing this a little early today. But before we get into the actual show, let me say hello to the couple of you in the chat. Queen Comics' wife says, "I am here." Hey, Queen Comics wife. I always put that either into a chat, or I'll shout that out like All Might from My Hero Academia. It's a Christopher Sabat as All Might in the English dub. Just I don't know, he delivers that line like just so over the top as All Might is supposed to be, and it's great, and I love it, so I just like to say it. And she goes, "It's hotter than Satan's booty hole in here." Then turn on the air conditioning. Basket City's here. What's going on, Basket City? Good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. And then, hey, Mash, long time no see, buddy. What's going on, brother? Good to see you, man. I hope you've been doing well. But thank you to the 5 people who are here, 4 of you on YouTube, 1 of you on Rumble. I appreciate you guys being here, popping in a little bit early tonight. And know a lot of people are probably on their way home from work or sitting down to have dinner or something like that. But for the few of you that are here, I do appreciate you being here, because without you guys, part of it is, without you guys, there is no show. Like, this show wouldn't happen if you guys didn't vote on it on my X, and when I put a poll out on X and on YouTube several months ago. So without you guys showing up, being here, like I said, there is no show anyway. So I appreciate you guys being here. And before we get into one other thing, before I get into this week's poll list, Queen Comics wife and I and the kids, we went to We actually ended up finding a somewhat local Comic Con this past weekend, and we had a couple of bucks to spare that we scraped by. So we figured we'd go over to the comic convention. It was a little bit of a trip. It was like an hour and a half each way, but it was worth it because we got to go, we got to hang out, got to see some fun people in cosplay, see some cool artists, and then also get to go into the main vendors room, which good thing we scraped away some money, because if we had gone and didn't scrape away some money, I would have I would have ended up crying leaving. But the reason why I say that is because I actually ended up grabbing a couple of cool things. So did Queen Comics Wife. Queen Comics Wife ended up grabbing some Pokemon comic books, actually, which were really neat. And I think she grabbed something else. Also, she met an artist there that did some of the art for what's it called, for the real Ghostbusters comic. And also Queen Comics Life, if you're listening, let me know, put in the chat what else that artist that was there, what else he had worked on. He was like he was supposed to be one of the main guests that were supposed to be there. But Queen Comics Life said, just to let you know, your daughter wants to try Italian sausage. Fine, let her have it. And Basket City says, speaking of conventions, are you planning on going to MegaCon? Basket City, that was up in the air, but since I will be starting a new job soon, I definitely plan on it. Whether it will actually happen or not remains to be seen. That's something that I'm going to start planning out maybe in, I don't know, October. Probably, because I also, there's a couple of people that I might reach out to and might road trip down to MegaCon at the beginning of the new year for that. So I would like to plan on it, but I don't know definitively if I will be. No, not comic writer Queen Comics Wife. The artist that you met, that you were all excited about. He did work on the real Ghostbusters and some other stuff. But anyway, the reason why I mentioned that convention is because not only did I walk away with a couple of pretty cool hauls, Queen Comics Life also did something nice for me with as one of the books in my hauls, but also we got to see friend of the channel. He's not been on the channel yet, but he is a friend of the channel. I talk to him somewhat regularly. I message him here and there. I do have plans for him to come to the channel, and I think next Monday, to be honest. But I'm talking about indie comic writer and creator, the creator of Phenomenova, Vaughn Coleman. He's going to be on the channel, I think, next Monday. We're going to be talking about Phenomenova #3 and the Kickstarter campaign for that. But he was there, so it was cool. Got to meet him, talk to him, hang out with him for a little bit. So everybody go check out Phenomenova. His title, actually, let me jump over to the screen share, because he has it on Global Comics. So let me go over here. If you have a Global Comics account, you go over there and read it. Also, you could just buy the PDF from Global Comics. But also, you can go to his website. If you go to RebelOasisStudios.com, I believe that's the website. You can go and check out, yep, right here, RebelOasisStudios.com. You could also just go and you could buy not just the first 2 issues of Phenomenova, but also some Phenomenova merch from him as well. But Vaughn Coleman's Phenomenova is one of my favorite indie books right now. And Phenomenova 2 just came out, I think, like 4 months ago. And he's already got 3 in the works, and he's planning, I think, by the end of the year is when 3 should be coming out. So he just started this venture not too long ago, just in the last couple of years, I think, for Phenomenova. End of last year, so within a year he'll have three issues out. So, but yeah, it was cool meeting Vaughn. He's awesome. He's killing it. He's crushing it on his own. And also picked up a nice little very nice variant cover that he had there. Wanted to show him some love and support, so picked that up. He signed it. Very, very beautiful artwork there. But go check out Phenomenova. And then also, while we were there, Alberto Martinez, also known as Alasmat, was there. And I had seen a post about his book before. So let me... from Bat Sauce, and he had read this called Beast Citizen Road Warrior Drake. So he was there, and I actually ended up picking up. He had a little manga version of his book. There, he has 2 books out. I picked up the first one, and the way that he described it is supposed to be like kind of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle inspired, with a lot of but a lot more humor, like a lot more humor involved in it. Kind of street level justice stuff like that. But it's I've been flipping through it. I haven't actually sat down and read it yet, but I've just been flipping through it, and I've been just enjoying what I see here in terms of the art. And as Bat Sauce also said, he said in this post here we have up on the screen, I know people make fun of the art style all the time, but it really works for the story he's telling. The humor and the characters feel like something out of South Park. This got quite a few audible laughs out of me. I recommend, says Bat Sauce. And so I picked this up. Also, Vaughn was telling me to go check him out as well at the con there. So I checked him out, and I was looking through it. I was talking to him. Nice guy. I was really interested in this, so I picked it up. And I'm going to be reading this, and I will be, once I actually get a chance to sit down and read it, I will be putting out a post on X about it, just kind of with my thoughts and what I think about it. But just a surface level, looks interesting, looks fun. Can't wait to dig into it. Basket City said you should try to get Eric July on. That would be dope. Eric July is way too big for me. I am still trying to get somebody else who said that he could come on the channel back in I think July, back in last month. He still hasn't come on. So and I'm, as much as I think it'd be interesting to have Eric July on Talking Shop, I because the thing is, I as a whole, like, the Rippaverse is okay. I enjoy it for the most part, but I like to ask genuine questions, and I don't like to ask softball questions. I don't like to I'm and with somebody like Eric, there might be a question or two that I have that is a genuine question, not as a gotcha, but he may not necessarily be comfortable with. I was contemplating having Ethan Van Scriver on as well. I actually even messaged him and asked him about the possibility of it. Just said, "Hey, listen, like I have this show called Talking Shop." Explained to him what it is. I said, at some point, I can't give you a date, but at some point in the future, would you be interested in coming on? And honestly, EVS reached back out, and he said, "Sounds interesting." I guess he was going to look into the channel or look into the show or something like that. He said, sounds interesting. Give me a date and I'll let you know. I was just spitballing. I still don't know if I'm going to have EVS on, if I'm going to invite EVS on or not. But if I do, I'm not going to pull punches, but I'm also not going to try and try and trap him in a corner either. I'm just going to have a conversation with him and ask genuine questions about some things and see what kind of responses I get. But I don't know how well that would go with doing that with guests like EVS or Eric July. That's why I kind of haven't really tried to reach out to Eric, also because there's been some things going on as well in terms of news with Rippaverse and whatnot lately. And I have genuine questions. It's not like they'd be gotchas or anything like that, but I have genuine questions, and quite frankly, I don't know how those would go over with him. So I have to, for some higher profile guests like that, where there is some controversy surrounding like Eric July and EVS, I would have to approach those conversations from a very careful angle. So, but no, Basket City, I know Eric July was on the Homies podcast. The other thing is also, I think some of the guys from For the Homies actually went down to some of the conventions and met Eric, and I think they're active in his chats and all that stuff. Like, I know Eric's seen my name in like some of the Tuesday nights main events and some of his streams regarding some Rippaverse books and whatnot, but like I have not ever had face-to-face time with this man. So like I haven't met him at a convention down in Texas or Florida or whatever, any of the typical conventions they go to. So maybe an invite from me might be a little like passed over at first. But I mean, which would be fine. It's not like I'd be offended or anything. But no, I as much as I would like to have Eric July on one day on the channel one day, I don't know if that would actually happen. But we have had other people from the Rippaverse. We've had Carol Brown on a few months ago. She was on Talking Shop. And then actually next month, so not next week's episode of Talking Shop, but 2 episodes from now for Talkin' Shop. So the first Talkin' Shop of September, we are actually going to be having ND Andrew himself from the Ripverse coming on Talkin' Shop, and we'll be hanging out and talking about Ripverse and other stuff. And I'm sure we'll be talking about a little, to some extent, his new character that was announced coming in Ripazine 5. I know I have some questions, but he's going to be on, and it's going to be a great time. So maybe, and also Igor Teixeira, one of the artists from the Rippaverse, is going to be coming on, I think, in November or December. So I have Rippaverse involved people that are going to be coming on the channel, but also I'm not going to be one of these channels that's going to sit here and be completely pro CG or completely anti CG or completely pro Rippaverse or completely anti Rippaverse. Like, I just want to read good comics, man. That's all I want to do. I don't give a shit who's making them, as long as they're solid comics that don't have a bunch of bullshit in it. That's all that matters to me. Queen Comics Life said, ComixDad, I actually have a new idea for myself in the works. After you're done, I want to run it past you. Yeah, we will talk about that later, Queen Comics Life. Absolutely. But anyway, so we're 20 minutes in already. I didn't even get to show you just a couple of my haul from that convention that we went to this weekend. And I will, once I say hello to our friend in the chat, Jose Taco. Jose Taco, what's going on, brother? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. When is the next Versus? I have been meaning to work on that. I tomorrow afternoon have an appointment I need to go to, but tomorrow morning I will be putting a script together for it. I have had my thoughts. I have had my thoughts on it, and I have kind of sort of typed out my thoughts. I just need to put it into a coherent script that I can actually read for the video. And then I got to do a little bit of editing and whatnot. But the editing part's not going to take too long. It's more, I have to put my thoughts into something that I can actually read for you guys. But I will hopefully be doing that tomorrow. I wanted to do it over the weekend, and I wanted to do it late in the week last week. But things came up. We were going around. We were running around. We went to the comic convention on Saturday. Yesterday, we were running around like crazy. And went out and had some fun also for myself, little ComixDad time. But no, I will, that next comic showdown video, Jose Taco, will be coming. My plan is to have it out by Friday night or Saturday morning. I can't guarantee that though, because there is another local convention that we're going to on Saturday. So if not Friday or Saturday, then definitely by the end of next weekend, that will be out, Jose Taco, for sure. I'm going to be working on the script tomorrow morning. But yeah, man, that's, thank you for asking about that though. I hope you've been enjoying them. But anyway, real quick, my hauls, just some really nice pieces. So Amazing Spider-Man number 76, The Lizard Lives. For anybody that doesn't know, the Lizard is my favorite Spider-Man villain. And I have his second appearance, which was Amazing Spider-Man number 45, I believe. And then this was his third appearance in 76. So I just need to get his first appearance, which is Amazing Spider-Man number 6, which is a doozy to find. And then I did find it once, but it was graded, so it was a doozy in the price tag. But also have Amazing Spider-Man number 102, where Spider-Man, Peter with 6 arms, faces off not just against the Lizard, but also against Morbius. And then I also ended up grabbing Amazing Spider-Man number 161, where Spider-Man ends up having an encounter with actually Nightcrawler of the X-Men. And then finally, Queen Comics Wife actually surprised me with something, and she grabbed me from the Archie adventure series, the Archie Comics adventure series, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the movie, the 1990 movie adaptation. Now, I have The Secret of the Ooze, the second movie adaptation from Archie, and I do have the movie adaptation by Mirage, but I don't have the one by Archie Comics, and I like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Adventures by Archie Comics. I have probably about almost 24 of those issues. So Queen Comics Wife surprised me with this, and that was amazing of her. Thank you so much, Queen Comics Wife. I love you for that. Okay, got all that out of the way. Now let's get into the pull list. Let's close some of these tabs here. Cool. Okay, sweet. So this week is an exciting week for me personally, because there are a couple of things that are coming out that more nostalgia than anything. I'm really excited for them. This is just an overview of what I currently have saved, just as some recommendations, but we're going to go through the various publishers as well. Without further ado, let's just get into it. So we're going to go to Marvel first. The Amazing Spider-Man number 10. Okay. Amazing Spider-Man has not been good. Most people say since One More Day. I say Amazing Spider-Man hasn't been good since the days of Superior Spider-Man, when Doc Ock and Peter switched, basically mind melded, switch bodies, whatever you want to call it, in Amazing Spider-Man number 700. And then from there, we got the Superior Spider-Man for 30 some odd issues. I think it was 30. I think it was about 30 issues. And then eventually they end up swapping back. And pretty much since the end of Superior Spider-Man is when Amazing Spider-Man has not been good in my mind. So Amazing Spider-Man is still trash, which is unfortunate because we do have comic book legend Joe Kelly writing. Joe Kelly is writing for Amazing Spider-Man currently, but he just has not been doing the job. He just hasn't. John Romita Jr. has been doing these covers for Amazing Spider-Man, both for the Zeb Wells run that Joe Kelly took over that ended last year. But then also he's been doing these covers. I mean, and John Romita Jr. is a legend, obviously. He absolutely is a legend. We cannot take that away from him. But these main covers, this style that he has kind of evolved or transitioned into, or even I don't even know if this is maybe something that he's been doing with everything he's been working on, or if this is just something Marvel wanted. But this particular style of cover, like how Spider-Man is here on this cover, it just doesn't look right to me. And I don't know what exactly it is, but I have not liked that style of cover for Amazing Spider-Man that John Romita Jr. has been doing since the beginning of the Zeb Wells run. I have no idea. No idea what it is about it. It just bothers me. But all love and all respect to John Romita Jr., though. The man's a legend. Ultimate Black Panther. See, there's some people out there that keep telling me, oh, you're going to like this. It's so good. It gets better. I am up to issue number 14 in Ultimate Black Panther. If it hasn't won me over by now, it is not going to win me over. I am not necessarily going to say this is a trash box recommendation, but I definitely will not recommend Ultimate Black Panther to anybody. Ultimate Black Panther is the weakest title in the Ultimate Universe revival going on at Marvel right now. Ultimate Wolverine, I am caught up on. Ultimate Wolverine is very well written. Ultimate Spider-Man, of course, is tops. Ultimate Spider-Man's great. The Ultimates, in the middle of its current run, around from like issue 7 to 11, so for a span of like 4 or 5 issues, it was kind of rough, but they started strong, and then now they're moving in an upward trajectory again over the last 3 issues with it. Ultimate Black Panther is just, I don't know, maybe it's just not for me. It's just the way that they're telling the story, the way that they have Khonshu depicted, because Khonshu / Moon Knight is in it, but it's not Mark Spector. And the way that they're doing that is really weird. There was no really any explanation given. Vibranium apparently is alive somehow or something. I don't friggin' know. But Ultimate Black Panther misses the mark for sure. Now, okay, before we continue, we just got over on Rumble. Our boy, the legend of Rumble himself, or at least the legend of the Rumble chat, Snooty Mims, for $10, says, God bless the comics family. Snooty Mims, God bless you, sir. You have been for, the last, I think, 2 months now. You have been so kind and so generous to not just myself, but to Queen Comics Wife over on her channels as well. She was live earlier today. You hopped in there to drop another 10 and say the same thing to her. You, sir, are a blessing to us. We appreciate you. We are humbled by you, and your hard-earned money. The fact that you choose to use it in this way towards both myself, my wife, our family, our kids. because a lot of that, most of that money has gone towards their school supplies. A couple of it has gone towards helping to pay a bill or so over the last few months, with me having been out of a job, and the Queen have been out of a job for a little over a month now. But Snooty Mims, sir, thank you again so much for your donation. This, as always, is for you. Bully McGuire. Always got to do the dance. But thank you, Snooty, for the 10 on Rumble. Anyway, where were we? So, yes, Imperial number 3. Imperial is basically what Jonathan Hickman is leaving the Ultimate Universe to, that he's been working on for the last 2.5 years. He's moving over to this, doing the Imperial Universe. It's sci-fi. It's sci-fi action, political intrigue and backstabbing. Imperial 1 and 2 have been awesome. And I don't really know too much about Planet Hulk, so like Sakaar, and the various alien races that exist in the Marvel universe, like the Kree and the Kree and the Skrull and all that. Like, I know about the Skrull, the Super Skrull, Secret Invasion, all that stuff, but like I know there's been a lot of storylines that take place in space with them as well. Not too well read on that, but considering I don't know too much about it with the Kree and the Skrull and all that, Jonathan Hickman is writing Imperial. He's doing an awesome job. He's going to be writing all the Imperial storylines for all the different Imperial books that are coming out. So there's several Imperial titles coming out between now and the end of the year. And I don't know if they're going to be long, continuous titles, or if they're going to be maybe like miniseries, like 4 or 5 issues each, or they might even be one-shots. I don't know. But Imperial is currently going to be 4 issues long. At the end of Imperial 4 is when we're going to get all these other titles. But Imperial has been awesome. It's been keeping my attention. The artwork has been great. It's just a shame that, because Mark Cicchetto, he goes by Mark Cicchetto, but for whatever reason, this site, leagueofcomicgeeks.com, puts him as Marco Cicchetto. I guess it's his legal name, but he goes by Mark Cicchetto. But Mark Cicchetto has been doing the covers. The only thing is, now Iban Coelho has been doing a great job with the interiors of this book, but Mark Cicchetto is my favorite artist at Marvel right now. And I just wish that we were getting Mark Cicchetto inside the book and not just on the cover. But I've been loving the Imperials. Or not the Imperial. I've been loving Imperial. It's a 4-issue event. This is issue number 3. Go pick it up. Definitely recommend this. It's our first pull list recommendation of the night. What else are we going to focus on over here real quick? So this was interesting. Black Cat, number 1. And then we'll jump down to this after. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Because everything else on here, not really overly interested in. There's not a whole lot going on here that, got a couple of things here. There we go. All right. So, because the more X-Men, I'm not really interested in what's going on with X-Men right now at Marvel. Like I've said it before, I've been very vocal about it on X and in other streams. 90% to 95% of Marvel is just not good. And it's not necessarily that it's all trash. It's just, I mean, some of it absolutely is, especially anything written by Cody Ziegler. Fuck Cody Ziegler, the writer for the current run of Miles Morales and Ultimate Spider-Man Incursion. Now, I enjoyed the first volume of Miles Morales that started back in 2018. He was not involved in that. Cody Ziegler himself, though, is one of these activist comic book writers. So fuck him. But anyway, we're not talking about that, though. We're talking about Black Cat. So apparently Black Cat, during Amazing Spider-Man, over these last 9 issues of this current volume of Amazing Spider-Man, Spider-Man has been fighting Spider-Man most recently fought a villain called Hellgate, which is a new villain, or new, I don't even know if you want to necessarily call him villain, but because when I think villains, I think like recurring characters. I don't know if this Hellgate character is going to be recurring or not. But apparently something happened there where Felicia Hardy is thinking about maybe giving up a life of crime altogether and just going good. More or less. I guess it's interesting to turn it around. Hey, Rants! Rants is in the chat over on Rumble, says, this comics dude. Rants, that gaming guy. What's going on, Rants? How are you, brother? But yeah, I mean, it's an interesting take and turn for Black Cat. I don't know personally if I would enjoy it. Also, yeah, G Willow Wilson here. I don't know. G Willow Wilson just you look at this picture, she just oozes liberal feminist. So I think it's, I don't know. I mean, it could be okay. And G Willow Wilson, I'm just joking. Like, just her picture, yes, she uses she uses liberal feminists, but G Willow Wilson actually has been involved in a lot of stuff over the last, I think, like decade or so at Marvel, and some of it has been decent. Some of it has been pretty good. Actually, I think she's been involved in Marvel for over a decade, but so she's not the worst writer in the world. She really isn't. But I don't. I just don't know how I'm going to feel about this. So, Black Cat number 1. If you like Felicia Hardy, if you're interested to see what a babyface like in wrestling heel turn and babyface, if you're interested in what a babyface Black Cat might be like, go pick this up and read it. I'm just not interested in it. That's all. But it was interesting. It seemed kind of noteworthy to talk about, so wanted to do that. Next thing we're gonna talk about is all new Spider-Gwen Ghost Spider number 1. And Rant says, boss bitch vibes. Yeah, right. She looks like she would be single with kids and a lot of cats. Oh yeah, it makes sense she would write Black Cat. But no. It in all fairness, G Willow Wilson, like I said, she has been involved in comics for. She has been involved in writing some titles for Marvel over. Like I said, I think I last looked at her credentials. I think it was like the last 15 years or something. And in those were some titles that I remember reading and not absolutely just completely hating. So, not necessarily saying that she's a great writer, but she's definitely not their worst writer. Invested cat food chat. Davey versus here says, comics hail chat. Hello, Daveyverse. Hello, brother. Good to see you. Rant says they don't make good comics anymore. No, Rant. Marvel does not make good comics anymore except for Ultimate Spider-Man, The Ultimates, Ultimate Wolverine, Imperial. Those are 4 titles right there that I have been enjoying from Marvel. Everything else I either just don't care, I'm very apathetic towards and indifferent about, or just completely hate. Mostly it's just I'm indifferent. But anyway, all new Spider-Gwen Ghost Spider number 1. There has been a lot that they have been doing with Ghost Spider and Gwen Stacy from her alternate universe, because she is a spider person. The Spider-Verse is overplayed, but Miles and Gwen Stacy, they have been around kind of the longest out of the, or some of the longest out of the Spider-Verse, multitude of characters they have going on there. And I've always, Spider-Gwen has always been kind of an up and down hill for me. There are times where she'll have series where I actually enjoy it and it's pretty well written, and at least for the most part I'll get an entertainment value out of it. And then there's been other series of hers where it's been absolute crap, and a bunch of the nonsense that we have been seeing and all that. So I don't know what's going to happen with this. I really don't. But I will say, Stephanie Phillips, now, yes, woman comic book writer, dyed pink hair. I know what you're thinking, Rants, specifically. But Stephanie Phillips is actually writing something for Boom Studios, a title called Grimm that has been going around for 2 years. And my wife, Queen Comics Wife, she actually really enjoys it. So I am willing to give this a shot because this is a comic book writer that my wife is currently enjoying. So I am willing to go and give this title a shot. So because this is a writer that my wife really enjoys reading the work of, I will be putting this on the pull list recommendation for the week. I don't really know much about it. I'll read it and then I'll report back next month when issue number 2 comes around. So Daveyverse says I'll also defend indies. Oh yeah, Daveyverse, I will absolutely 100% defend indies and also creator-owned publishers like like titles coming out of ImageComics, titles coming out of Boom Studios, and the like. But I think Rants was referring specifically to Marvel. I'm not sure, but Daveyverse says I could fix her. I'm sure you could, Daveyverse. I'm sure you could. But now this next one, This one I'm very excited about because we're going back to the days of good Marvel with Civil War Facsimile Edition. This is Civil War #1. For anybody who does not know, a facsimile edition is an exact one-to-one reprint of an old comic book. All the same lettering, art, inking, even down to the advertisements in said comic book. Basically, an exact one-to-one reprint. The only thing that really changes is the price tag on the cover of the book. That's all that changes. So we are getting a reprint of one of Marvel's most iconic events, Marvel's Civil War, written by Mark Miller. Or Mark Millar, I'm sorry. Creator of Kick-Ass, and also just finished crowdfunding Psychic Sam. But it was and Mark Millar has wrote a bunch of other stuff as well that I really enjoy out of him. He's a legend. But we are getting Civil War now. I have the Civil War trade paperback, but facsimile editions are great for people that maybe don't have some of these more popular older books that maybe want to get their hands on it. I have the trade paperback of Civil War, and the trade paperback of Civil War has this exact cover. What I am excited about is the Michael Turner variant Civil War cover, because Michael Turner's cover was amazing, and back in the day when it first came out, I could not get this cover anywhere. So, I mean, granted, it's going to be a foil cover, so I don't know if I'm maybe too thrilled about that. I'd rather it be a non-foil cover, but at the same time, at least I could say I have the Civil War Michael Turner cover in some capacity. So I'm excited about it. Civil War, really like kind of earth-shattering event that that completely disrupted and changed everything about Marvel. Now, unfortunately, we haven't really had too many big, awesome events like that since. But this is Marvel history right here. So if you want a piece of Marvel history, it won't be a first printing, but it'll be an exact one-to-one reprint. So if you're into that, if you want that, go grab it. David said, yes, I think this was my last mainstream run that I bought. Well, go buy it again then, Davyverse. But Queen Comics Wife, can you do me a favor, please? If you are still watching, can you please do me a favor and send one of the comics kiddos in here? Actually, hold on. Wait, you know what? Nope, never mind. I don't need one of the kids. Guys, give me 1 second. I'm just grabbing a bottle of water. I just have to go off screen for a second. Okay, and I'm back. I turned off the camera because we have a green screen now, folks. But I turned off the camera because I had to lower the green screen, but the room is a mess. So, didn't want anybody seeing that. DVverse said chat's in charge. Not for long. Very short-lived, DVverse. Very short-lived. But anyway, we're moving on now. Next publisher is actually ImageComics. ImageComics, rants, if you were talking kind of comics in general earlier with your comment, ImageComics is where you kind of want to be right now. Up aside from the smaller like crowdfunding creator owned and published scene. But if you want to if you want to still kind of enjoy some good stuff that's in the mainstream, that's not the big two of Marvel and DC, Image has some good stuff that is not going to make you regret buying it. We're going to start with Invincible Universe's Battle Beast. Robert Kirkman, creator of Invincible and of The Walking Dead, and is currently running, or is going to be running, the show for the Energon universe at Image, which is G.I. Joe, Transformers, and Void Rivals. Robert Kirkman has been writing for the last 4 months a title for one of his more iconic characters from the Invincible series, Battle Beast. And people have been enjoying this. I picked up the first issue. I unfortunately have not grabbed any of the other issues, issue 2 or 3 since. Not because I didn't like it, just because every time I keep going, either I have to either pick and choose what I actually want to grab because, money. And Battle Beast just never seems to make the cut because I kind of want to spread it out a little bit. but I will probably be going back and grabbing the back issues of this in the next couple of months once I start the new job and get the paychecks in and all that, just the steady paychecks in and all that stuff. But yes, absolutely, Battle Beast number 4. People have been loving it. I have the first one. I love the first one. Battle Beast is an awesome character. A lot of good action, a lot of good stuff going on in there. Go pick up Battle Beast number 4. G.I. Joe number 10. Same thing like I said in Image. So Robert Kirkman is not writing this, but he's kind of running the show of the Energon universe, so he definitely has some creative control over what happens in G.I. Joe. But G.I. Joe has been fun to read, and this is coming from a guy who I am not the biggest G.I. Joe fan. I've never hated G.I. Joe. It just Transformers was more my thing. G.I. Joe never really pulled me in. I saw the appeal to it. It just didn't appeal to me. But G.I. Joe number 10, go pick that up as well. It's definitely worth checking it out. Davey Verse said, is he? That's canny nuts. Yes, Robert Kirkman is just like Jonathan Hickman was basically running the show for the new Ultimate Universe at Marvel, and now he's stepping away from that to basically run the this Imperials title and universe and storyline. Robert Kirkman is doing the same for G.I. Joe, Transformers, Void Rivals, what they call their Energon universe. It's their connected universe and Image for those 3 titles. But yeah, Robert Kirkman is taking over as the writer of Transformers for starting in issue number 25, which will be in October, because we just got issue number 23 of Transformers this past week. So yeah, that'll be interesting to read and see how that plays out, because I've been loving Daniel Warren Johnson and what he's been doing with Transformers. Everybody has. But anyway, so why do I have Gunslinger Spawn on here? I don't know why Gunslinger Spawn was on there. Click off that. It's not that I don't like Gunslinger Spawn. I've just never been the biggest Spawn guy. Like, early Spawn was awesome. Like early 90s Spawn, original McFarlane Spawn was kick ass, really cool. I don't know, like I feel like all these different variations of Spawn, I feel like it's going way with the Spider-Verse, and I just haven't been brave enough to pick up any of these various Spawn titles. I did with Medieval Spawn, and it has been okay. But also because it's been more of its own story than trying to tie into the Spawn universe. I don't know if maybe there's supposed to be some background on Medieval Spawn from another Spawn title that I missed out on or something. I don't know. But that seems like it's more kind of its own standalone thing than tying in with the Spawn universe. That's why I like Medieval Spawn. But Gunslinger Spawn, 46 issues in, people are obviously liking it. So maybe I'll get around to giving it a chance one day. It's not that like I said, it's not that I won't recommend it to people. I don't know. These different variations of Spawn, it just has me hesitant to read it. That's all. And then what else do we got on here? Oh, yes. Okay, I think this is my last one out of Image. It is. Ghost Pepper number 2. Okay, so Ghost Pepper number 1, I was very high on this when it came out last month in terms of just giving it a shot, because I saw a preview of it in the back of a Transformers issue several months ago. Was it Transformers? I think it was Transformers. But there was a preview of it in the back of a Transformers issue several months ago of Ghost Pepper number 1. I love the art style. It seemed interesting. I was curious in terms of who this guy was that's here down on the cover, and I was not disappointed. Ghost Pepper number 1, written and also art by comic book artist Ludo. I think that's Lullaby is how you say his surname. So Ludo Lullaby. Sounds weird, but hey, whatever, man. You know what? It is what it is. He's doing good work. His art style is fun. It brings me in. And then the story that he told in issue number 1 was kind of setting the stage for this world that he's creating, kind of a post-apocalyptic world after some giant monstrosity more or less destroyed the majority of the planet Earth, and the majority of people on it, the majority of life on it. But there was basically some kind of savior that was able to stop the creature, and now it's I think like several decades, if not almost a whole century later after the creature was. I think it's several decades. I think it's like 4 or 5 decades after that creature was defeated, and so there was like a new world government sort of established in honor of this character, this savior, this person that keeps being talked about. That almost like cult like, almost like a religion kind of slash government built around whoever this guy was that defeated this creature. But everybody has an ID. Everybody is registered with this new form of world order or whatever, except for this guy. And robots scan him and realize that he's not registered, and so they ask him for ID and everything like that. It turns into a whole thing. And this chick up here, she just runs a food truck. And she uses ghost pepper in one of her dishes. That's why it's called ghost pepper. But this chick with the food truck ends up getting dragged into it, and so it was a fun read, and I am absolutely picking this up next week. Ghost Pepper #2. That is it for ImageComics. Let's head on over to DC. Oh boy, DC. There's a lot of DC's a mixed bag right now. DC, like Marvel, I personally am, well, first, let me preface, like I do every time I do the show, I am not the biggest DC fan in general. I am not the most well-read on DC. I know more about Marvel than I do DC. That said, I still know something about DC. And so I will say the things that I have read out of DC, most of it has been good, but also it's because it's been only certain things I've been reading out of DC based on recommendations. Most things out of DC I hear are really not good. Especially a couple of things that I tried picking up and giving a shot. Like I tried checking out Poison Ivy a few months ago. That bothered me. That was just crap. And then of course you have stuff like that Harley Quinn fart comic that they put out, like 3 or 4 months ago? Or like 4 or 5 months ago. That thing was just a whole book of just fucking disgusting nonsense. It wasn't even funny fart jokes. It was like there was actual poop depictions, and like Harley was like farting in people's food and pooping on people's faces and stuff. Like, and that was in a comic book. It was a comic book rated for teenagers. Like, not even for adults, for teenagers. I mean, granted, mostly adults read them, but I'm just saying, it's like, and the artwork in it was very like kind of kid friendly artwork. Like the art style was very like cartoony and whatnot. So like, I guess they were maybe trying to appeal to kids maybe with that, but like, no, it's just, so yeah, DC's a mixed bag. There's some nonsense at DC, but the things that are not nonsense at DC are the Absolute series or the Absolute universe. So Absolute Batman is up this week along with Absolute Flash. Everything else I couldn't care less about, really. Nightwing, from my understanding, has been meh at best. Yeah, these are the only 2 titles I care about right now in DC, or at least for this week. Absolute Batman. We are going to be getting the origin of Bane in the Absolute universe. Bane has been a thorn in Batman's side for the last couple of issues. I finally got fully caught up on Absolute Batman, on Absolute Superman, and on Absolute Flash, and I have been loving each and every one of them. Yeah, Scott Snyder is doing Scott Snyder things. Scott Snyder with Batman. Last Scott Snyder Batman storyline I read was Court of Owls, which was a decade ago, if not more. And I enjoyed that. So no surprise that I'm enjoying Absolute Batman. But yeah, Bane is involved with this organization that has been taking people and doing genetic mutations and experiments on them. One of Bruce Wayne's friends, who in the baseline DC universe is Killer Croc. In this, he wasn't Killer Croc, he was just a regular person, but now he has been turned into a hybrid crocodile like creature that we saw at the end of the last issue. Spoiler alert. But it's interesting. It's definitely interesting because but Bane basically is kind of the muscle for this organization, for this secretive group of people that are going about doing these experiments on citizens of Gotham. And Batman is currently locked away in that facility as well. And they have been trying to experiment on him, trying to break him mentally and everything so they can break him down, rebuild him, I guess, do experiments on him as well. But anyway, Absolute Batman's been awesome. Absolute Batman #11. Go pick it up. Go check it out. Absolute Flash #6. Absolute Flash. I'm not gonna lie. The first two issues of Absolute Flash. Now overall, I love Absolute Flash. I think it's great. I'm having fun with it. The first two issues, or the first issue, is kind of setting the groundwork because it is Wally West. It's not focused on Barry Allen. It's a Wally West Flash, which I'm totally fine with. There are some style choices of the character that I maybe didn't agree with, but I mean, the pacing of the first issue, it was just kind of laying that groundwork. It's not that it was bad, it just was a little drug on. Issue 2, the first half of issue 2 kind of continued the same, but then once we got to the second half of issue 2 and then through issue 5, I've been having a lot of fun with this Absolute Flash. Wally has more or less kind of ran away from home in a sense. I'll let you go pick up Absolute Flash and read it to figure out what I mean by that. But now we're kind of he's in this stage where he has just gotten his costume, and he is probably going to start trying to figure out exactly what he's going to be trying to figure out more of his powers. And you can see here just who are the mysterious rogues chasing after Wally West and how did they join Project Olympus. I mean, it's the Rogues Gallery. You got Captain Boomerang, you got Captain Cold, all the usual suspects, and chasing after Wally West, the Rogues Gallery. They're called the Rogues. But no, Absolute Flash is it's good. It's good. I'm enjoying it. I'm having a lot of fun. It hasn't hit the level of overall great yet, but it is good. I am not disappointed in it. So Absolute Flash number 6, go pick it up. Next publisher, we are moving on to IDW Publishing. IDW currently owns the rights to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and is doing a lot of stuff with Godzilla as well. And that is kind of what we're going to be focusing on. I forgot to mark this one earlier. So we're going to open those. I'm going to do this. Current Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I have not picked up the current volume of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I read the first 5 issues. The team they had working on the first 6 issues, I did not think they were doing that great of a job. Starting at issue 7, first 5 issues, I'm sorry. Starting at issue 6 or 7, they have a new team working on it. A new writer, new artist, everything. I have not picked it up and checked it out yet. But that change was obviously made for a reason. So I am willing to give it a chance to see if it is a change for the better or for the worse. But that is not what this is. What this is this is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Journeys number 1. Basically what this is a reprint of an ongoing series, that Peter Laird, co-creator of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with Kevin Eastman, and Jim Lawson, who helped do the art. This was basically the 4th volume of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles over at Mirage, and because IDW is kind of floundering, they are taking this and they are reprinting this series. So this is the first issue of it. Like I said at the top of the show, we have some nostalgia things going on to our pull list this week, but this is going to be one of them. Anytime Kevin Eastman or Peter Laird is directly involved, even if it's something from 20 years ago, or 24 years ago in this case, I don't care. Kevin Eastman, Peter Laird, if they are involved, I want to check it out. So TMNT Journeys number 1. Remember, this is a reprint of a 24-year-old series. Yeah, but if you love Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, go check it out. Now, IDW. Now, mind you, IDW had Transformers for the longest time as well, and they lost it, and then Image got the rights to it. Image has been doing much better in just the 2 years that they have been printing Transformers comics than in the, I think like almost 20 years that IDW had of Transformers. So, but anyway, Godzilla 70th Anniversary Foil Classics, Godzilla in Hell number 1. So this is just another reprint. This is a reprint from a 2015 Godzilla title from IDW called Godzilla in Hell. It was very well received. It was I never read it myself, but I am going to check it out because Queen Comics Life loves Godzilla. I've always thought Godzilla was really cool. I'm just tired of seeing Godzilla mixed in with the superheroes at Marvel and DC. So those Godzilla versus events, I'm just sick of seeing those. But Godzilla, I have no problem with Godzilla. I like Godzilla. I like kaiju. The kaiju, what's it called? Series theming, like kaiju concept, the kaiju concept, kaiju theming. I enjoy that. Always have. But this is just reprinting 2015's Godzilla in Hell number 1, featuring a foil cover by James Stocco. original solicit text. So this is the original description of the comic from 10 years ago. Godzilla meets his greatest adversary of all time, the possible tortures of hell. Each issue of this special miniseries will see Godzilla enter a new level of the underworld to do battle with the impossible. All right, I'm sold. And Queen, I'm gonna pick this up not just for me to check it out, but for Queen Comics Wife as well, because she loves Godzilla. So, which we actually picked up at our local hobby shop, our local gaming shop, so like board games, card games, TCGs, stuff like that. There was apparently a new Godzilla game, a Godzilla TCG game, which is trading card game for those of you who don't know. That was apparently released, and they were selling the starter decks for like $10 each. There were 2 starter decks, so I told the Queen, hey, you know what? Let's grab it. We'll check it out. We'll play it. We haven't played it yet. We're probably going to be doing that tomorrow or probably Wednesday at some point. I don't know. Maybe next weekend. It depends, because I also have a script I have to write during the day tomorrow and tomorrow for my next video for the channel, like I was talking about earlier when Jose Taco asked about it. And I'll probably be doing the recording on Wednesday. But so I don't know. At some point we'll get around to playing it, and I'll let you guys know. But she's excited about that. And since we're in Godzilla, apparently I didn't even know that this was printing. I must have missed this over the last couple of months that we've been doing this show. Mothra, Queen of the Monsters, #5. The reason why this is on here is because, again, Godzilla has kind of been the hot big thing for the last year and a half or so, ever since Godzilla -1 came out and crushed it and showed filmmakers around the world that you don't need a massive bloated budget to put a good movie on. So, and also, again, Queen Comics Wife loves Godzilla, but specifically Queen Comics Wife's favorite kaiju from Godzilla besides Godzilla is Mothra. So this is on the pull list for that. I don't know. I only have this on the pull list more for Queen Comics Wife. If you're into kaiju, if you're into Godzilla, if you like Mothra, like Queen Comics Wife, go check it out. Me personally, meh. I'm more excited for the reprint of a Godzilla story from 10 years ago. But yeah, that's what it is. So, all right. Next we have Udon. Udon is a small publisher that puts out Japanese inspired or books inspired by Japanese IP. In this case, Udon has been putting out the Mega Man Timelines one-shots that I have been talking about for the last couple of months. It started with regular Mega Man. Last month's was Mega Man X Timelines. This one is Mega Man Zero Timelines. And all these are just one-shot stories of the various versions of Mega Man. This one is Mega Man Zero. They have all been fun. They have all been good. I've been reading them with my 5-year-old. My 5-year-old is interested in Mega Man now because of these. So I am not going to complain whatsoever. 100% Mega Man Zero Timelines #1 from Udon. Put that on your pull list. Go grab it. And we're in our last publisher, which is not comics. We're actually in the manga territory. And we are talking about Viz Media, because there's some of the more popular titles right now coming out of Viz Media that I have been enjoying, that also have anime adaptations that I also love and have been enjoying. First, we're going to talk about, well, I'm not even really going to talk about, we're just going to touch on it. Spy Family. I got to catch up on the Spy Family manga. The anime has been behind. I don't know if they've stopped production on the anime or not, or what, but the Spy Family manga is good. I have read to the point past where the anime stopped currently, but I am just not caught up on the Spy Family manga. But if you like wholesome family humor, with some intrigue from some spy and assassination standpoints, because it's Mash says Spy Family is pretty solid. And Davyverse, I see your comments, brother. I'm going to go back to all of them. I just wanted to blast through all these publishers. But Spy Family is fun. So if you like Spy Family, just to let you know, hey, Spy Family 121 is coming out. It'll be on the Shonen Jump app. That's how I read all my manga, at least in terms of current manga. If there's any manga I want to go get that's a little older, I'll go to a bookstore, go pick up a volume of manga. But if you just want to read it chapter by chapter as it's coming out, I highly recommend, especially if it's something on the Shonen Jump app, I highly recommend getting the Shonen Jump app. And then also, I think it's $3 or $4 a month. The Shonen Jump app and website, you can, for their subscription service, you can go back and read all their titles, everything always. for like $3 or $4 a month. So I've been catching up on One Piece with that. I think I'm just hovering at around chapter 1130, I think, of One Piece right now. So I got to get caught up. But Spy Family, Sakamoto Days has been awesome. The anime on Netflix has been hilarious and awesome and action-packed and very well done compared to the manga. I've been enjoying that. Sakamoto Days is about a retired assassin who settles down, has a family, runs a convenience store, and then a young assassin who remembers him from his assassin days basically ends up taking up with him, and his family works at the grocery store or at the convenience store, along with some other characters along the way. But there was somebody out there trying to get Mr. Sakamoto killed, put out a hit on him, and there's some other stuff going on as well. It's a lot of fun. I have to start reading the manga. The anime is a lot of fun, but I have to start reading the manga. Friend of mine, Hana, if you're familiar with Tombi's Anime After Dark on every Saturday. Hana's on there. Hana's on Tombi's Hump Day Chinwag sometimes as well. But Hana has been telling me a lot about the Sakamoto Days manga and showing me some couple of pages of it here and there for reference and some things that happen in the anime. And I absolutely need to start reading Sakamoto Days the manga. One Piece. It's One Piece. Go read One Piece. One Piece, One Piece, One Piece. Anybody that says One Piece is too long or One Piece is mid, they don't know what the hell they're talking about. Yes, okay, maybe there's some filler stuff, maybe some storylines can be cut down in both the manga and the anime, but you know what? I don't care. It's One Piece. Go friggin' watch it and read it and shut up and enjoy it. Ah, my light! But anyway, it's One Piece. Go read it. Alright, cool. So let's get back to the chat. Stevieverse, I know you've been going nuts in the chat. DC has always been kind of a mixed bag. Yep. There was just someone kink that got past the editors. Yeah, for the Harley fart comic. Yep. Is IDW still kicking? Yes, they are, but probably I think just barely. And then probably wise, they lost everything, didn't they? In terms of reprinting Ninja Turtles and Godzilla and stuff. Yeah, they lost everything from Transformers. I wouldn't be surprised if they lose Ninja Turtles next, to be honest. This current volume in Ninja Turtle, the most recent volume of Ninja Turtles might be the last Ninja Turtles we get from IDW. Honestly, I'm hoping Image gets it, because then Image will get it, and then the folks at Image will go out and probably find a great and awesome writer to work on it, just like they did with Daniel Warren Johnson for Transformers. The only thing is, I hope they don't tie it in with Transformers and G.I. Joe. I hope they let it do its own thing. But that's just wishful thinking. I hope IDW loses the rights to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But I don't know. That's really ultimately, I think, up to Peter Laird and Kevin Eastman. Because obviously they have that agreement with IDW for Ninja Turtles. So who knows? But anyway, I think that's... Yeah, I don't really have... Yeah, we'll go over a little bit of comic book news. So, for anybody who's familiar with Joe Sontag and Reaper Destroyer, very highly anticipated, indie created and crowdfunded comic that came out last year. I think it was fulfilled. I missed out on it. It was either last year or earlier this year. It was fulfilled, but I missed out on it. I was so upset by that. Joe announced a couple of months ago that Reaper Destroyer 2 is in the works and crowdfunding will begin. Just last week he posted this, that the second chance campaign of Reaper Destroyer will launch on September 19th. So that is awesome. But then also probably by the end of the year, the campaign for Reaper Destroyer number 2 will be going live. So go check that out. But if you missed out on Reaper Destroyer, second chance campaign launching next month, actually a month from tomorrow. This was announced. DC officially announces Batman/Static Beyond comic series. This will be interesting, to say the least, because Static Shock was a great cartoon as a kid. The comics I was never really able to get into, unfortunately, but that was just me personally. By all accounts, Static Shock comics have been pretty well received. I may have just grabbed the wrong Static Shock storyline maybe to try to read. I don't know. Not gonna lie, if this is the design for Static, I'm not about it. But it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting because obviously if it's Batman Beyond, it's gonna be Terry McGinnis. It's gonna be set what 40, 50 years in the future from the current DC timeline. But it's just news. It's noteworthy. I'm interested. I'm curious. This I'm not so interested about. I mean, I was when I first thought when I at a glance when I heard about it, but then I saw this. So DC and Marvel, Nightwing and Wolverine. Yes, this is really happening. No, that's not Wolverine. That's Laura Kinney. That's X-23. That's not Wolverine. Logan is still alive. Yes, Logan died at some point. Alternate storyline, alternate universe. We got Old Man Logan. He died. It was sad. It was great writing. But Wolverine, Logan is alive. Laura Kinney is not Wolverine. If Wolverine were to retire or die and then name her Wolverine, okay, cool. But you can't have two characters of the same name both currently active in your universes. And I hate that they're doing that with Miles and Peter. Now, a few weeks ago, people were calling me all sorts of ists and everything because I went out of my way to comment saying Miles Morales is Miles Morales. Miles Morales is not Spider-Man. Miles Morales is a Spider-Man. He is not the Spider-Man. He is a spider person. He's somebody with arachnid powers, like Peter Parker, Spider-Man. But Miles Morales needs a different hero name until the day comes where Peter retires from being Spider-Man and then says, hey, you are Spider-Man now. There you go. I'm not taking anything away from the character itself. It's just the name of his hero name needs to change. That's all. That was my whole point, and nobody really seemed to understand that except for one, the only one, probably left-leaning person who at least had critical thinking skills and was able to not be overly emotionally retarded. Shout out to you if you're watching, brother. You and I have chatted a couple of times, and I appreciate you for just kind of having my back on all that. This guy, I'm gonna name him because I don't know if he wants attention brought to him or not. But he went to bat against all the other stupid, retarded libtards that were just immediately go, "Oh, you're an ist, you're an ist, you're an ist." That wasn't my point. And he asked some questions so to kind of get what my point was, because maybe I wasn't too clear on it at first. I mean, honestly, I was memeing a little bit at first, but Miles Morales is Miles Morales. That's the typical response to that, because he's not Spider-Man. He is in ability probably, but in name, he should not be Spider-Man. He should have a different name, a different hero name. And that's pretty much all I was about. But yeah, shout out to you, brother, if you're watching. Anyway, Laura Kinney is not Wolverine. So, I mean, I like the idea of, like, Wolverine's daughter, because Laura Kinney X-23 is a clone created from, or it was created from Wolverine's genetics, basically a female clone. And then also you got Nightwing, Dick Grayson, Batman's son, so Wolverine's quote-unquote daughter, teaming up together. That would be cool. Just don't call her fucking Wolverine. X-23 is a cooler name anyway, so, for her, because, it's almost like she's an experiment, because, she was. Anyway, that's just me. This one, they're pushing Kamala Khan as it's so fucking hard still. And this person right here, DT2Comics chat, pretty much put it how everybody sees it, or how everybody feels. Stop trying to make Kamala Khan happen. She's not going to happen. She's not going to overshadow Scott, Jean, and Logan on the X-Men, just to name a few. Nobody wants this. Remember that kid in school who wanted to be popular so badly they'd do anything? How did they end up? With nothing. And basically, you have this from an upcoming X-Men book. You have Kamala Khan right in the middle with her giant fists on top of her whatever stupid fucking power this is that they retconned because of the live action show on Disney Plus. And she says, "My marvelous X-Men." Kamala Khan. Kamala Khan, these are not your X-Men. They're not your X-Men, Kamala. They take your shiny fists and you go farm another team, but not this team. This team is not your team, Kamala. Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel. I don't think there's anything too marvelous about what you're doing here, but with the character, but it is what it is. Anyway, Vken Marion. Vken Marion, is one of my favorite artists working in mainstream comics right now. Now, VK Marion does a lot of cover art for people in the indie space. He's done cover art for Paul Thayer, Project Gnosis. He's done cover art for Michael Odin, Elysian Fields Reborn, which he will be filling in the next month or so, I think, hopefully, because it's a great story. I want everybody to get it in their hands. We had Michael on the channel several months ago. He was an awesome guest, awesome guy. I can't wait to have that book in my hands. And he also did cover work for Von Coleman for Phenomenova as well. And he's also done work for a bunch of other people as well. But VK Marion also does a lot of variant covers for ImageComics, and he does a lot of covers for DC. VK Marion is actually doing internal artwork now for DC, not consistently, not full time, but his first issue that he's doing work in it's Green Lantern is the titles he's working on. He's been doing cover art for Green Lantern and Green Lantern Corps. But he's doing the interior art for Green Lantern 26, which comes out next week. He is not the interior artist for Green Lantern 27 for some reason, but he is doing the cover art for Green Lantern 28. As he mentions right here, Green Lantern 28 sneak peek. I love VK Marion's artwork. Also, VK Marion has his own graphic novel, comic, whatever you want to call it, that he just recently fulfilled and put out himself. Battle Chronicle Soul Striker. I did a post on it on X. I've showed the book off on the channel a couple of times over the last month. But VK Marion is my favorite, not my favorite, is one of, I'm sorry, because there are a couple others that are doing great work as well. VK Marion is one of my favorite artists in mainstream comics in terms of the major publishers. And not just the big two, but also like Image as well. I consider Image to be a big player at this point. So VK Marion in my mind is, like I said, one of the best modern day, currently active comic book artists, alongside Mark Cicchetto. And then honestly, I'm going to say Ludo Lullaby, who's the creator of Ghost Pepper that we were talking about before. Ludo Lullaby has done internal artwork at Marvel and he's done cover art at Marvel and DC. He's done internal art in DC. He's done internal art at Image. So there's some good artists out there right now that's working in mainstream. I mean, granted, all artists working in comics are all good too, because they have the talent, at least more talent than I do. So I'll give them all that. But there are some out there that are definitely better than others. VK Marion is one of them. So shout out to VK Marion. And then I think that's pretty much everything. Oh, and then the Pit Volume 1 campaign launches in 1 week. This was 2 days ago. So if you remember the Pit from back in the day, you liked it. The trade paperback of it is going to be launching on Indiegogo. Go check it out. It'll be in 1 week. And then Perfect 10 is indie indie creator self-published comic book series by Genuine Comics by David Brink. If you're familiar with Perfect 10, you've enjoyed Perfect 10. His campaign for it on Fund My Comic, issue number 6, and also the complete collection, because issue number 6 is going to be the last issue for Perfect 10, is currently live on Fund My Comic. Go check that out. I know I will be. I've always wanted to get into Perfect 10. I just haven't been able to. And then, yeah, this is just all the different covers for Von Coleman's Phenomenova number 3. Kickstarter is currently live. He's going to be here on the channel, I think, next Monday night. We're going to be talking about Phenomenova number 3. So, and then also just really badass cover artwork by Jason Fabic and Brad Anderson over at Image, part of the Ghost Machine crew, doing Rook Exodus. This is going to be the base cover for issue number 8. I love Rook Exodus, this cover, as long as Rook is actually killing these spiders, I'm okay with it, because fuck spiders. Anyway, I know I just rambled on about a lot of different things. Oh, let me pull this back up. So, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. This is my finalized pull list for this week. So go ahead and take a screenshot if you want. I'm just going to rattle them off real quick. But go ahead and grab a screenshot and go pick up any of these at your local comic shop this week. So we're just going to go right down the line. So again, to recap, my pull list recommendations for this week are Absolute Batman number 11 by DC, Absolute Flash number 6 by DC, hesitantly recommended all new Spider-Gwen Ghost Spider #1 by Marvel. Marvel Civil War #1 facsimile edition, which is 1-to-1 reprint from the 2007 event that changed everything at Marvel. Go pick up those. G.I. Joe #10 out of ImageComics. Ghost Pepper #2 out of ImageComics. Ghost Pepper #2 is probably going to be my main pickup for this week. If you're going to go pick up anything, go pick up Ghost Pepper #2. Go pick up Ghost Pepper #1 while you're at it. No, Gunslinger Spawn should not be on here. There we go. All right, refresh list. Godzilla's 70th Anniversary Foil Classics. A reprint of the 2015 title Godzilla in Hell out of IDW Publishing. Marvel Comics Imperial #3, written by Jonathan Hickman. Go pick that up as well. Been loving that. Invincible Universe Battle Beast #4 out of Image Comics by Robert Kirkman, creator of Invincible. Out of Udon, Mega Man Zero Timelines #1. Go pick that up. This, hesitantly recommending, just because Queen Comics Life loves Mothra. So Mothra, Queen of the Monsters #5 out of IDW Publishing. TMNT, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Journeys #1. Reprint of a 24-year-old comic book out of IDW Publishing. Notice a theme here with IDW Publishing, and also just kind of mainstream comics in general. A lot of reprinting of older tales going on. And then some manga out of Viz Media, which you can also find on the Shonen Jump app. One Piece, chapter 1157. That's right, 1157. Go read One Piece. Go watch One Piece. Sakamoto Days, chapter 225. And Spy Family, chapter 121. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be it for me tonight. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you, everybody, for hopping into the chat. Rants, Queen Comics Wife, Snooty Mims over on Rumble, Queen Comics Wife, Basket City, Mash, Jose Taco, Davyverse over on YouTube, and, of course, Snooty Mims for the $10 Rumble rant earlier in the show. I appreciate you all for being here, guys. Be on the lookout, Jose Taco asked earlier, when was the next Versus? When was the next Comic Showdown video? I'm going to be writing the script for the next one tomorrow. I am going to be hopefully recording, doing the actual recording for it on Wednesday, because Tuesday I have things going on, or tomorrow afternoon I have things going on. Jeez, it's Monday. Tomorrow's Tuesday already. In about an hour, Queen Comics Wife and I are going to be on Isaac 556 by 45's Golden Age podcast. So go check him out over there on YouTube in an hour. We're going to be over there hanging out. Go check out Queen Comics Wife's channels. Queen Comics Wife with an X instead of a CS in comics. Let's see. Queen Comics Wife is going to be live tomorrow night and Wednesday night. We will both be live on Thursday night for Comics Couple Cafe, and then Queen Comics Wife and I will also be live dual streaming, I think, during the day on Thursday, to fulfill our Rumble Premium Hour requirements for the Rumble Creator Program. Queen Comics Wife and I will be playing The First Descendant together, so that'll be happening sometime Thursday during the day when the kids are at school, because the kids start school on Thursday. Finally. And then Friday, come on by. I don't know what I'm gonna be doing Friday, to be honest. I have no idea. But come on by Friday. I'll be here. We'll figure something out. And then come on back next Sunday for another episode of the Poll List. But anyway, thank you everybody so much for being here. As always, I am ComixDad. I appreciate you all. And remember to be good to yourselves, be good to each other, support your local comic shops, because every Wednesday is New Comic Book Day, where you can get all the awesome books that we talked about today. These books, I'll put it up one more time for anybody to screenshot. But yeah, support your local comic shops, support independent comic creators like Vaughn Coleman, like Alberto Martinez for Road Warrior Drake, like Ken Marion, like Paul Thayer, like Justin Belmont, who was on Talking Shop last week, and so many other independent comic creators out there as well. And also support your small content creators like myself, like Queen Comics Wife, like Rants in the chat over on Rumble, Gaming with Rants, and so many other friends of the channel as well. Tomby, Yarn Witch, Abe's Gonna Get You, Sergeant Wilkie, Solely Switch, all the great people out there doing small content as well, just like me and the Queen. But yeah, guys, I appreciate y'all. And this is ComixDad signing off. I am out of here. Later.